Save your money. Save your money. Save your money. That's something that you've probably been hearing forever. Your grandparents told you to do it. Your parents told you to do it. Teachers, guidance counselors, everyone has told you to save your money. But I'm going to show you how strictly saving a very large amount of money isn't necessarily the best way to go about it. I don't think that they had any ill intent. As a matter of fact, I think the idea of saving money is a good idea, but there's better things to do with your money other than stick it in a savings account and letting it sit. And we're going to get right into that. What's up? I'm Mike. And if I had a like for every time someone told me to save my money, I would own the YouTube algorithm and they'd have to rename it MikeTube. So what's up with saving money and why it may not be the best of ideas? The thing is if you take all of your money and you just strictly save it, you stuff it in a savings account or like a low interest money market account, or even if you put it into one of these higher interest checking accounts at even like 2 or maybe even 3%, your money is going to slowly be eroded by inflation. And inflation is it's like rust on a car or water leaking out of a leaky bucket. It just slowly eats away at the value of that money while it's just sitting there, and it's earning almost nothing for you. Even if you have it in a high interest checking account that's paying 2 or 3% annually, the average rate of inflation since 1913 is 3.24%. So even in those high interest accounts, high interest, you are still losing, if you're at 3% and the average rate's 3.24, you're losing 0.25% of your money every single year. It's just going bye-bye. Not only do you end up losing money to inflation, but you also miss out on any type of growth that you would have of your money working for you if it's just sitting in a savings account. I have a video that I did where if you would just invest $1 a day over 50 years at the average rate of the S&P return of 10%, which the average rate since I believe it was 1912 or 1913, whenever they started recording this, is 9.9%, so just rounded up to 10%. You would end up with almost $500,000. At the end of this video, I'll have a link to that video so that you can see it. But the entire amount of the contribution for that was about $18,500. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was about $18,500. So over the course of that 50 years, if you had simply just saved your money and just stuck it away under the mattress or in a savings account, or however you just straight up saved money, you would have only ended up with a value of about $18,500 versus the almost $500,000 that you would have. And now there's the argument that, well, $500,000 in 50 years won't be worth what $500,000 is today. And that's exactly correct, again, because of inflation. But I guarantee you that in 50 years, $500,000 is worth a heck of a lot more than the 18 and a half that you would have gotten from just, saving. And I am discounting the, 0.1% that the bank will give you on your savings account, as a thank you for letting them, use your money so that they can earn money. So I've just told you that everything that you've been taught about saving money is incorrect. And so you're like, what do I do? What am I going to do with this money? You need to put that money to work for you. You need to invest in things like stocks, bonds, real estate, in any type of asset that increases in value. I can't tell you what to do with that because I am not a certified financial advisor. I'm not a financial planner. I literally wear a blue collar to work. But what I want to stress to you all, especially if you're in your teens, 20s, and early 30s, because this is the time of my life where I should have been doing these things and I wasn't. That you need to put your money to work in some sort of investment so that your money can work for you around the clock, because you can't work around the clock. There's only so many hours a day that you can put in and only so much that you're going to be paid for that time. But if you have your money in investments, it will continue to grow and build and compound. And then it will overcome this inflationary drag on the money that you have. If you don't invest your money and you just put it in savings for the long term, just like I said, straight up savings, you might as well just spend it, because it's becoming more worthless every day that it's just sitting there in savings. And so, the example that I used before of the contributions of $1 per day over 365 days for 50 years, that dollar that you put in day one will be nearly worthless. If you use your 2 to 3.24% annual rate of inflation, even if you don't compound that, you say 2% over 50 years, that's 100%. Now, obviously, that's speaking in very wide generalities and doesn't take into account the diminishing amount of each percentage. But your first dollar will be nearly worthless. Your second dollar that you put in will be almost nearly as worthless as the first one. So even if you do strictly save, that for that 50-year time frame, the money that you have at the end of that won't be worth anything, hardly, because of the effects of inflation. So again, you need to put your money into some sort of an investment vehicle in order to counteract that, so that not only are you saving money, but that money is making money on top of money, and the compounding of that will just keep going on as long as you have that money in an investment vehicle. And then we can all go out and buy cool stuff like razors, drones, cool cars, houses, things of that nature. But unless you have an extremely high income, you won't be able to save your way into prosperity, into the next level, whatever that is for you, because your money will languish and it will rust away like a car in the Rust Belt. Guys, I hope you found this helpful, entertaining, enlightening, whatever. Leave me a comment on if you like this or not. Hit the like button if you like it. That would help me out tremendously. Obviously, this is a little bit different than the stuff that I normally put on this channel, but without this type of information, I wouldn't be able to do the things that I do today. And I would love it if I could get through to teen or 20-year-old me out there, get them on the path to building their investments and their wealth. There's nothing wrong with wealth and investments. I have always said that money is freedom, and money's not evil. If you're not evil, it's freedom. I'm going to put on the screen right now that the link to that example of the $1 per day over 50 years, what it equals, almost $500,000 versus just about 18.5, somewhere in the mid 18s. With that, guys, see you next time.